Hello, and welcome back to the Zen Garden channel. Before we start, let's check out the mystery plant without any delays. This time, we have a Crassula Red Pagoda. Also known by Crassula Capitella, they are an extremely variable species, identified by stacked, narrow and pointed-leaved that are green initially but become red when exposed to the sun. Succulents are famous because they are considered easy care plants, and people think, sure, I will get a succulent, because they don't require that much care and only need water probably every other week or so. And that is true, up to a point. However, with this mindset, people do tend to forget the basic care about succulents. They are still a living plant and have needs, such as light and fertilizer, and some need to be pruned as well. I remember my first succulent died because I never gave it enough light. Yes, it was that bad. The only light that plant ever saw was the most indirect sunlight you can think of, a window in the total opposite side where the plant was, and the sun was not even directing to the window. And probably I gave it water one too many times, and it was just there left with soggy roots, which is what they hate the most. So with that in mind, I decided to create a series of videos that will touch one topic per video on how to maintain healthy and beautiful succulents. In this first one, we will discuss watering, how to, how much, how frequent. First, it's important to understand that succulents are plants where the leaves are adapted to store water, which is why they require watering less frequent than normal plants. Overwatering any plant will result in root rot, and if not caught in time, they will eventually and sadly perish. If you enjoy our content, hit that subscribe button and you will get notified every time we post a new video. So how do you water your plants? You can water your plant however you prefer. But do bear in mind that getting water in the leaves is something that your plant does not love. This can increase the chances of rot in the leaves. To avoid this, you can use a squeeze bottle with a long and thin tip, where you can fit it between or under the leaves. A watering can with a long and thin nozzle as well will do the same job. Or you can try bottom watering. To do this, place the succulent pot. Side note, the pot needs to have draining holes, of course. Place the pot in water like this and let it sit for a good while. You will notice the water level going down. If in doubt, lift the plant and check if the soil is wet all around. You will want no dry patches left at the end. But how much water should you give? As much as it takes to soak the soil. How much water you give it is not as important as the frequency. As long as you wait until the soil is dry for the next watering, you should give it a good amount of water that ensure the soil is completely moist. If you think this is useful information so far, leave a like. How frequent? The watering frequency depends on the season of the year, whether the plant is dormant or not, the temperature and the soil. All these factors affect how fast all the water you're giving will be absorbed. During winter, for most plants you should reduce the watering. The temperature is lower. This makes the soil take longer to dry. But the answer to how frequent you should water your plants is quite easy when the soil is dry. It's a golden rule that should never be broken. Only water your plant when the soil is dry. There are a couple ways you can check how moist is the soil. Easiest one is with a moisture meter. If you have one, will likely be a contraption like this. Only give a drink to your plant if the meter shows dry. Another option is to stick your finger into the soil as further down as you can and feel for the moisture. If it's dry, go ahead, but if you still feel moisture left, then hang on a few more days. The one I tend to use the most, because I don't have a moisture meter yet, is use a stick. Any kind of stick will do. If these little bits of soil come out, means it's likely not ready to be watered just yet. And if you touch the stick, you will feel it moist coming out of the soil. Come back in a few days and check again. Thank you so much for watching and hanging around. I hope you enjoy our content. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like if you do. Here is one more mystery plant before we leave. Leave us your suggestions in the comments below. See you soon!